Hi guys, and welcome back to Nifty Challenge. Alright, so before moving to my more patterns in the market, I would like to teach you about the trend lines. I know you are very eager from a lot of days to learn about the trend lines, how to find supports, how to find resistances. We will start with a very basic principle of finding the supports and resistances, and I will start with a very minimum basic so that people who are very new to the market, at least they can be saved from certain things which I'll explain you very shortly. So before I start with the trend line pattern, I'll try to tell you three things first. See, the first important thing is that these trend line things are always to be used on as much bigger time frame as possible for you. So always try to use bigger time frame. Bigger time frame here in the sense means it is not that you open a chart like this and you start putting trend lines, because this is only from June to May. Just like this, I can say this is just a 1 month period on the chart. So what you do is, when you use a trend line, the first thing you do is you use at least 6 to 7 months of period minimum. That is for a daily chart what I'm talking about. Now let's come to the longest zone first. From there I'll start and move towards a smaller zone and show you how these trend lines really help. So let's come to the first thing and come to a monthly chart first. This is the Tata Motors chart that you are seeing, and I will show you how to draw trend line. So see, the first thing that you need to know is see the spikes. Now this drawing of trend lines, it is not that it is pure technical knowledge. Sometimes a lot of these things need a good experience. Sometimes they need a good past experience and experience in the market, and how you have seen these things and how better it looks to you also really matters a lot. Now to you it might look like that this is a good spike, this is a good spike, this is a good spike, but I may not be considering this as a good spike. I might consider only this as a good spike in the market, or only this as a good spike on the candle patterns. So this is something very important which will be different for different people in general. So the first thing we do is we search for the spikes in the candlestick pattern. So wherever you see a big spike, I'll start with the monthly chart. So I'm starting with the monthly chart. So wherever you see big spikes, the top of the spikes you draw a trend line. So let me show you to draw a trend line, and see, this is a big spike. Yep. So let me draw a trend line from right here to here. So let us consider this as a resistance. Now you might have a question why I have not drawn a trend line right up to this area and only up to this area. So this is why these trend lines help. Okay, now you see, whenever you draw these trend lines as a basic, since you are learning, the first thing you should do is always use the area charts instead of using the candlestick charts. So when you use the area chart, this is where you can use the area charts. So you see, you can see the spikes better on these are a good spikes. This is a good spike, that's a okay spike. Okay, these are not so significant. This is a good one, this is okay, this is a wonderful spike, this is a good spike. You see, like these you can consider to be good spikes in the market. So see, I will use my trend line on the area chart, and this is a resistance I have just calculated. Okay, now I will show you how these resistances work and how they help you as the first basic. Don't understand that, and one more thing, don't start thinking that tomorrow itself you will put a trend line on a Nifty chart and this is the perfect support that you have found out. So that will not be the case. It will help you in certain way. I'll just show you how. Now let's come to this as a monthly resistance that I have taken, and we do multi confirmations always on these things. Okay, see, there's a slight difference, but what happened? Now let's imagine on this day this stock was, Tata Motors came down, it was right here, it moved up. Okay, that time the resistance line was not there, immediately formed, came down. Next day it went up, it came down. Third day it started falling from here. Okay, now see, the important thing is this shadow. Now note down this shadow. These shadows, in my language, I call it as stupidity. Okay, now these stupidities are news based, and news based things are the worst thing that I avoid. And all my people, all my students, I always tell them, do not trade on any stock that is following the news. It's better to avoid these things than doing anything on it. Okay, one more thing, these lines are not to be drawn only on the top. You can use the bottom spikes also. Even this is a good spike you see in the bottom part. Okay, so I have taken a spike right here. Now you see what happens. This formed, you came here, here. Now this is this particular date, 7th of June, and you already have this line. Now you for sure know that this is a resistance. Okay, next time when this started moving, you see this is a trap done by the operators. This is what you call as a trap of operators. Now right here, when this stock came, if you knew this trend line, if you would have been here, you would have not bought it unless and until this candle gives a closing above on that particular day. Now see how this resistance acts. Right here you can see this, when these traps happen, this is how these traps are helpful. So anybody would have bought right here. You can imagine if he doesn't know about this thing and he would have bought right here or here, you see how much time it would have taken him. Even now he has not reached that point, and it's been so many years. It's since 2016 till today, 5 years, and he's still in loss if he's bought here. Okay. Now coming further, we move to a weekly. Let your line stay there on the monthly chart, and you will use another color. Now let's see on a weekly form. Let's come to the different color we'll use a orange color. Now see, again you can see it is not matching, but you don't need to bother about these things. So what you can do is, on a weekly one, on a longer zone, I can use a trend line here. I can use this one. I hope you are agreeing with me. I can use one. See, these spikes are so good ones. I can use this one. I can use this one, but they are not very significant, and they have given a breakout. It has moved further. I can use this. I can use this. Even this can be used as one. And let's use a bottom line as well. Let's use something here. Okay, see, this started acting as a support. So on this, let us observe on this particular day now. See, on this time frame, when this breakout happened, see, first it came here. Now this would have been with you from so many days before, and if you have used this support line, this resistance line, see, when market came here, if you would have sold here, you made profit. The next day again this happened. It came here. If you sold here, you made profit. The next day this broke out on a single candle, gave a closing and went above. So now this has started acting as a new support for this particular stock. Now it has to give a closing below this. See, any day in all these candles, all these wicks have been formed. This is where it has been taking support. It is not giving a full candle closing below this area for me to not use this candle as a support. Okay, I hope you're seeing these things. Now let's move on further and use a daily chart. And again we come to candlesticks. We use this, and let's draw a different line again. Let's use a pink color. Yeah, let's use this spike. See, the spikes look good. Okay, let's use more on the downside. Let's use this down once. Okay, let's use a bigger time frame. Okay, now let's switch back to the candle pattern. See, now I've got a zone here. I'm not extending these lines. If I do, then you can see these things better. So see, this is a resistance that is coming from a weekly zone. So any day Tata Motors will come in this area, you will definitely face a resistance here. I'm just giving you something in advance as well. So now you see this has broken today on a this resistance on a closing basis. Now tomorrow, if you get Tata Motors at 333 on Monday, make sure you buy it. And I'm also giving you a hint. Okay, this is a very basic of the trend line that you need to first learn. Now these trend lines are always drawn from high to high and low to low. Okay, so let's use the high to high and low to low thing. So let's consider one high, it's right here. Let's consider another high, it's right here. Let's consider one more, or maybe this one. Sorry about that. Let's use it from this place, right here, and going further. You see, I am going further. See how this started acting as a support. Right here it was acting as a support. The support line is really moving further. You're learning a lot of things, huh? Don't stop watching my videos after this, please. Okay, so you got these things. Now this is a trend line I've used from high to high. Let's use something for low to low. Now I would have used this to find out a pattern, which I'll be explaining you in the next video, if I was in this particular area on the market. Since I am here in this area, I will explain you in these areas itself. Let's use this, and we go here. Okay, let's use this as a low part, this as a low. Let's take this as a low, or this as a low, and we go this way. Now here I form a pattern called ascension broadening pattern. I will explain this to you in my next video, because this video has already gone too long, but I hope you've understood the basics of using the trend line and how they really help you in calculating supports and resistances. See, this is not the only thing from where support and resistances come. There are a lot more things to be seen when I am using these candles other than only the spikes. So this is the first lesson, and you will sure learn more things about that very soon. Thank you so much. I hope you will like the content, and I hope you will keep learning. Thank you.